Hey, what is up, everyone? It's Rich. Hold on, give me one sec. I was formatting pages for printing today. Let me pause the metal. All right, I'm gonna pull up my YouTube channel really fast. Give me one sec. I had a lot of questions on Instagram I'm gonna get to today. So yeah, let me just go to my channel so I can see the stream. All right, I'm live. What is up? What is up? Two watching. Hello, two. What is up? What is up? All right. Oh yeah, I gotta mute it. Watching. Hello, two. Okay. So yeah, on what's up, Benjamin? How are you? So I was gonna do a live stream on Monday evening. I'm gonna try to create a schedule where I do Monday mornings and then Monday evenings, Friday mornings. What's up, John? Hi, Chris. But I was sick. I got a cold over the weekend, and I just sounded like crap. So it was hey, what's up, Pilar? Pillar. I don't know how you pronounce it. But yeah, I my voice was thrashed. I was all congested, and it really just was not a good scenario to do live streaming. But yeah, the more I've been posting kind of art online, I've been getting like a million questions and private messages and stuff like that. So I figured one thing I could do for the live chat, and I've only got 30 minutes today. I'm really busy, but yeah, I had like a million questions. So I think I can go on Instagram here. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, the Travis piece that I posted, I noticed in the morning there was a ton of questions towards the bottom of it. Let me start at the bottom. Holy cow. Okay. Okay. So, there's always a little bit of confusion when I post art. I mean, some people that don't know um, penciling or inking, they'll get confused and they think that I drew this stuff. I try to make it clear. Long descriptions don't seem to work on Instagram, so I generally will hashtag it with all the pertinent information. Let me see. Oh, it goes backwards. All right. So, lots of really nice compliments on the Travis work. Look, I give him full credit. Where are the questions? You always adjust the character of inking with the character. Oh, okay. That's more of a comment. That's so weird. Like the Instagram loads the comments so differently than my phone. There was a bunch of new questions. Now I see none of them. That's so weird. Hold on. All right, I'm going to view all the comments. We'll get this. But there were some good questions, so I wanted to get to them. This is so weird. Well, hold on. I'm going to go to the chat. Screw this. All right. So do you guys have any questions? I'll start there. Oh, thanks. Yeah. So here's the deal on Instagram, because I talk about social media. I'm holding a stylus for my it's funny, I've got a Cintiq back there, but I have an Intuos 5 in front of me. For layouts, I work digitally, and I actually kind of prefer to do them on my Intuos. Like I like having almost like a painting canvas in front of me, and sometimes with the Cintiq, I'm a little too close. So being able to sort of sit back and work and see sort of like the composition. But yeah, so here's the deal with Instagram. It's really, really hard to get 10,000 followers. If you already have them, congratulations to you, because it's not easy to do. I had like 7,000, between 6 and 7,000 a few months ago. And at the rate I was going, which was literally, I was gaining maybe 1 to 5 people a day at the most. And sometimes I would lose, 5 or 6. The consistency of my posting definitely helped, for sure. I started trying to post every morning kind of before I would leave the house to run errands. So that seemed to help a little bit. And just it was weird. It started to snowball. I noticed a very, very noticeable acceleration of what was going on, and I don't know why. Like I know people were complaining about bots. Like I saw a post from Eric Canetti where he said that people were bummed out because their followers dropped significantly. I didn't lose any followers, but I think the reason that I didn't is I actually have a majority of the people that follow me are actually real followers. Like I don't think I ever was a victim of like hyper inflated numbers based on that. But once I hit 10,000, I've had like 400 new subscribers or followers just in the last 2 days. So I don't know what's going on, but yeah, the channel really grew, or channel the Instagram grew a lot, which is cool. I mean, it's like when you're struggling, like maybe some of you are with your Instagram, and like I was, um, the thought of even getting any kind of significant number, you go, it's going to take forever. Like I could be on this platform for 10 years, I'm never going to get to the number that I want. So let's see. We don't need to go on and on about that. Hey, Rich, you are the man. I'm always inspired when you're art and inking. Well, look, I'm not going to heavily plug Patreon, but I post at least 2 to 4 times a day on Patreon. I'm always showing what I'm working on, and sometimes it's stuff that I can't really show. I actually can talk about stuff a little more openly there, even though sometimes publicly I shouldn't really expand on what I'm saying. Oh, the feed paused. It's weird. Hold on, let me see what's going on. Did I? Oh,
Right. Oh,
hold
yeah, I
on.
gotta mute it.
Oh, I gotta mute it. Never mind. Hold on. It was my um. So okay, that's going to be really confusing. Well, let me just refresh my screen really quick because I had it paused. I thought I had muted it, but I need it. I'm moving differently than I am in real life. It would have been weird. But yeah, Patreon is really really cool, and it's quite interactive. So some people know I got like a job with Heavy Metal Magazine. I'm going to be doing a 10-page like short story for them. I don't know if it's actually going to be in the magazine. It's a weird thing. I can't really talk about it right now. But if it's not in the magazine, it's actually cooler than that. So it's hard to explain right now. But it's a really really, like, it's something that you would pay to do kind of job. So again, I'm not 100% sure that it will actually be published in the magazine itself, but the nice thing about the internet is I can always share the pages online. So you'll all get to see it regardless of if it's easy to obtain or not. But it's a really, really cool gig. I'm very, very excited about it. I've got 3 pages laid out. I've been working on that. The layouts take me anywhere from, God, like 1 to 4 hours. It's I don't know if I'm slow or if I'm I don't know. I'll just have to see. I don't have enough experience to really like judge my efficiency with what I'm doing. But the pages look really really cool. You have 7,000 followers, 6,000 are bots. That's funny, Scott. That's how I felt. I didn't feel like I had a lot of bots. I just felt like I was getting no traction. And look, I know sometimes people go, "Hey, what's up, Aaron? How are you?" It's it's frustrating because you want more eyes on your work. Look, that's just a natural thing. If you're online and you're showing your work, you want as many people to see it as possible. It's not about vanity or any weird stuff like that. It's you want reach. That's, the more people that see your art, well, hopefully the more people that will enjoy it. Like in the purest sense, that's what it's about. And I will say this too, that when you're involved in it and you're creating art, you won't feel as sensitive about other people doing art. Like I know that there's times when I have to work and work and work, and I'm only inking, and like I can't show the stuff that I'm working on. And it can kind of bum you out when you see people showing stuff and they're doing all this cool work, and it's like it feels like success after success, even though it's probably spread out over hundreds or thousands of people that you follow. But yeah, it can kind of beat you down when you don't feel like you're at your best. So it's a double-edged sword. So let's see. I've been drawing. Good for you, the tiger's third eye. Drawing is fun, and the more you put into it, the more you'll get out of it. That's 100% the truth. So, Rich, I think it's high time you start posting your own pencils with inks. Enough of the other artists. It's time for you to shine. Yeah, thank you, Frank. I appreciate it. Look, I will be able to with this heavy metal job. I mean, the last 7 weeks, I was in a very unusual situation, which isn't as unusual as I thought. I had an interesting sort of, uh, I had someone note me and go, "Hey, I noticed you're taking commissions. You had told me that you don't really do commissions," which is actually accurate. I normally don't do commissions because I'm always too busy. But I had like a dry spell of work about 5 years ago that was exactly like what I went through the last like 7 weeks. It was brutal, but I had to hustle and do a million different things just to keep income coming in. So I didn't have time to draw as much as I would have liked to. So let's see, what type of printer do you use? Okay, so the printer that I use is at a UPS store about 10 blocks from my house. It's a Ricoh, Ricoh. And it's like a $70,000 color printer. And although it's inconvenient to not have a great printer at my house, that printer is fantastic. And so what I do is I just kind of try to plan around using it as much as possible. So 99% of the stuff that I print, I'll go down at like 10 o'clock in the morning when their printing guy is there, and he sets me up. And I've been using them for about 4 years. So I have a really cheap printer here that we just got. I don't even know what it is. It might be a Canon, but I don't print pages here. I sometimes will print out reference or you know what I mean, like little things, but nothing significant. But yeah, try like FedEx. If you have a FedEx by your house, if they've got a good color printer, most of the time, honestly, this is the 100% truth. Is the fact that you're doing art and you're going down there and like you're a comic book artist. I've found that most of the time people are actually really kind of into it and excited about it and think it's kind of cool. And so they're usually pretty helpful. And especially if they get to know you, I've always had really, really great relationships with the people that work at those stores. They've always been really helpful. And, sometimes you have to wait. If it gets busy, you seem to get put on the back burner. But that's the way it goes. So, question for inkers that cannot make it to conventions: what is a great way to meet editors and get pencil samples? Well, I did a video that I didn't post because I was too congested. But look, this is the advice that I give all inkers, and I don't think it's ever been more true than now. I don't feel that editors are looking for inkers. I'm just gonna put it out there. I don't believe that. I think the only time that they're looking for inkers is if they're in a pinch. Other than that, you need to approach pencilers. You need to have relationships with pencilers, and maybe that's an easier route anyway. But I don't think that editors are looking for writers that they probably already have in their back pocket, and pencilers that can do the job. And then I hate to say that they don't care, but look, if a penciler that they're working with and that they want to work with is fine with a penciler, unless the person is doing like unprofessional work, that's who they're going to use. And there's no I don't see any indication that that's not accurate. So that's what I would say: is meet a lot of buddies along the way that are pencilers if you really want to ink for a living, especially now. I think now more than ever, that's the trick. Patreon is worth the plug. Good community. Yeah, it's really, really good. So let's see. Finally I catch a live stream. Nice. All Gold Productions. Hey, how are you? Hi Nathan, Benjamin. Can't wait to see your art style. It's stuff that you've seen from me before. Just it's like I don't think about it too much. And you just kind of, the more you do it, the more you carry along things that you like. So that's what I always tell people: is if you're really worried about your style, just draw more and it'll kind of come out. Because what'll happen is you'll do a piece, and something that you do on the piece you like. Maybe it's the way that you did a clock tower. Maybe it's the way that you drew the smoke. Maybe it's the way that you inked a glove or something like that. And then you bring it with you to future pieces, and that's really how your style evolves. Um, I've only photographed myself one or two times for reference, and it's usually like a fist in a certain position. But it's a really good way to come up with reference fast if you need it. And look, this is the reality: is you'll hear me say a lot, I prefer to draw out of my head, but there are times when you should 100% use reference. If you have a job and you don't, you're asked to draw something that you've never drawn before, it's just in your best interest to get reference. You'll learn from it, and then you can carry that along with you later anyway. So don't be shy to use reference. And you see, there's a few artists. There's one artist online. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. And someone in the comment section, I bet, will know who I'm talking about. He posts all these kick-ass photos that he uses for reference for himself, and they're really, really cool. Like he'll do uh, kind of like these little montage pieces. I think I follow him on Instagram, and it's really cool. I haven't seen a post from him in a while, actually, but yeah, it's really, really neat. He'll throw on a cape and he gets in like these crazy poses. Yeah, Paulo Rivera, thank you. Yeah, isn't I love his post. That's so inspiring to me to see that stuff. So I missed something. Someone said pill or try medication. I didn't see what the original post was, so I don't know. Oh, wait. I have a question. I struggle with anxiety a lot. Oh, okay. No, that's a good question. So look, here's the deal, and this is going to comfort you. I draw terrified. I'm not even kidding. I stress out so hard when I draw, it would blow your mind. I'm not exaggerating with that at all. I don't have it when I ink other people, but when I'm penciling, I have it less now because I know that I can work my way out of just about any situation drawing that I need in pencil. But what happens is a lot of times I'll draw stuff and kind of go like, I'll leave it to the inks, and it's not. You have to understand. I'm not relying on my inking skills to do it, but I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna do, and so I'll scribble something in, and it fills the space nicely, and it's like there's a hum in that area that works, but it's just all garbage, and then I have to figure out what I'm gonna do, and generally I'm figuring it out in inks, and it's scary, man, and I'm always terrified that I'm gonna spend 10 hours on a piece and then hours 11 and 12 I make a bunch of catastrophic mistakes that I don't like, and then I spend another 3 or 4 hours trying to fix it, and it just like gets worse and worse and worse, and then you end up hating the piece. So yeah, if you have anxiety when you draw, join the club. I do too. I freak out. Hey, what's up, John? How are you? Hey, Rich. Kind of a well, let me just make sure I'm not missing any questions. Uh, the other thing I would say is like during the day, take breaks and exercise, and make sure you're drinking enough water. That'll help like your stress. Do you think editors looking for pencilers is the reason that even Scott Williams is now getting work doing X-Men covers for Marvel? Well, uh, Scott's a really good penciler, but he definitely knows people at Marvel that can help him get work. So that can help sometimes expedite you into jobs is having connections. So he's got them. He might as well use them. John Nee, who used to work at Wildstorm, works at Marvel. So that's a good connection for him. I know a couple of people at Marvel, but very very few, and for whatever reason, I've kind of hit a dead end there, and it's I'm still at the starting gate, but yeah, I don't know. I can't get really inking work there. They don't follow through on it. But I'm drawing now, so after this heavy metal job, I got an offer this morning to do an album cover for a band. So I'm doing that next, and I'm just gonna keep working on my own stuff. The main thing, this heavy metal story is gonna open a lot of doors for me because I'll finally have a sequential package that's brand new that I can show people and go, this is how I draw stories. And I think that that's going to turn everything really kind of upside down for me in a good way. So I've seen old photos Frazetta took of himself for reference. Yeah, I mean Frank really kind of was paranoid about his work being criticized for any kind of photo reference. But look, Frank was influenced by other artists. Frank used photo reference at times, but he was a great artist. Ultimately, at the end of the day, Frank could draw out of his head great. But how he got that great was by looking at the right stuff and learning from it. So, you know, he, he really tried to paint a picture that it's tough because I'm a huge Frazetta fan, but I think he had a lot of paranoia about it. So, but he didn't need to. He could do it all. So it's like, you know, kind of going off question last week's stream. Do you have any resources that you recommend to learn how to draw hair? Look, would be my suggestion to learn to draw hair well. Is you need to break it down into little chunks. You would want to work on maybe like the bangs first, and just get used to how hair comes from here and hangs down, and just kind of deal with that. And when you kind of get a handle on that, then you might want to like sort of like work on the top of the hair and how like depending on the angle you might see like a part and how it comes down and across. You're going to need to learn the sides, and then how hair, if depending on the length of it, how it kind of wraps around. So think of it as like 8 different things that you're going to need to learn, and it'll help you. If you try to tackle it all at once, then what you're going to want is just a nice silhouette. What I found working that way is because I can draw like a character in a cool pose and then have a nice silhouette of what I want the hair to do. Plugging in the construction and structure of it from that can be challenging, so you're going to need to know chunks. If you have the Danger Girl sketchbook that J. Scott Campbell did, he actually kind of shows how he did it, so you could look at that will definitely help. Yeah, no problem, Pillar. Like I said, I draw terrified. I think it's good. It means that you care. Think of it like that. See, your buddy Rich has got your back. And you will feel better now. Now that you've heard that, I guarantee that you won't be as stressed out when you draw because you'll know it's a natural thing. Holy cow! Sounds just like me drawing a book series for World Book Duty in April. Yeah, yeah. It's stressful. I think that's why artists sometimes have health problems. We're very hard on ourselves. Do you think printing out digital pencils ink traditionally affects the value of those? No, not anymore. It doesn't. I knew that years ago. I've said this to collectors kind of on the down low, but maybe 5 to 8 years ago, collectors were like, blue lines suck. I don't collect them. I'll never touch those things. Only original pencils and inks. That's all I want. And there's still a group of them out there, but I was like, digital is coming and it's here to stay. I knew that because I was seeing how people were already starting to work back then. You had a lot of pencilers laying out stuff on the computer. This is years ago. This is before it was normal. And blue lines weren't common. But like I had friends that were doing painted covers and all their prelim stuff was digital and they would print it out and they just wouldn't say a word about doing it. And yeah, it's here to stay. Everybody works digital. It's some point. Well, I'm not going to generalize and say everyone. A lot of people work digitally at some point in the process. Even for me, like I love laying out on the computer. It's so convenient. I'm laying out this thing for the heavy metal job. I can't say what it is, but I go back and forth with my art director. The guy that's writing it is kind of my art director. And I'll send him like 3 panels of layouts, and he'll go, think of it more like this, or like that wouldn't work if you're turning the camera that way, like that character wouldn't be in that position now, whatever it is. I can change it so fast. Why would I not want that? I'm like, if I did that on paper, I would be erasing things and losing things. I'd have a million pieces of tracing paper, to try, like say you've got a character, but it's a good pose, but you need to move it an inch to the right. You're going to have to somehow salvage that. You could scan it or take a photo, but dude, Photoshop is where it's at, or Clip Studio. I prefer Photoshop, but that's just me. Super excited to see your pencil work and how far it goes. I know it'll be killer. Yeah, no, it's on now for sure. Like I said, with this heavy metal job, I'm not going backwards. How much time do you need to do a sequential page? I mean, I think that they'll take me probably 20 to 30 hours. So, you know, I would love to have a faster style, like a stripped down version of that I could do. You know, I'm really really fast, so that might sound weird when I say 20 to 30 hours, but there's a level of detail and kind of complexity that I seem to add to my stuff. But if I'm just drawing, I'm really really quick, like very fast. I did that Long Gone John comic for myself. I was doing full pages, pencils and inks in like 90 minutes for a full page. I'll re-release that at some point, but it's doable. But for where I like to draw, I would say I would probably take 10 or 12 hours to pencil it, and then another 10 or 12 to ink it. So that's really great to hear. It makes sense to lay out the understructure digitally first. Yeah, it's just so flexible. I mean, it's just really really good. You can try things, and it's so there's so much freedom. And then yeah, and I have a few friends that work digitally and have like 3D models and stuff that they use for their work, and the thing that I've been kind of racking my brain for them is how are they going to bring that into their work but have it look like traditional art, because the problem is you can't get lazy with that stuff and just lightbox like a grid model from Google SketchUp. People do it all the time. I mean, I saw a real nice piece of art the other day, and the background it was so obvious it was a 3D model that it kind of took me out of the moment. But this you should just use it as reference, like you would normally use reference. Is you've got all those tools at your disposal, but if you draw it, it will look more like your work. If you trace it and just kind of like don't put any personality into it, it's not going to have any personality. It'll never have an X factor. So it's you need to have both. Hold on, I'm going to refresh this because let's see. But I need to go in just a second. Sorry, I know that this is a short stream, but I actually have a lot to do today. and I need to get to it. So if you guys have any last questions, hit me now. We got 3 minutes. And then I gotta finish laying out this page. I gotta go to the printer and print out blue lines. I'll ink a page today. So yesterday, this is what I did. I'll tell you what I did yesterday. So I spent 4 hours laying out pages in the morning from 8 until noon. Then I inked a full page of art, and then I worked on layouts for another 3 hours. So that's a full day. That's 7 hours penciling and then inking a full page. Beast mode, babies. That's what I'm talking about. You need to be a baller. All right, let's see. I really liked your last post. I had never seen Pencils by Travis. Yeah, it was an interesting piece. I kind of sometimes forget that I have that, but I did two sample pages really quickly to uh kind of like show Travis what I was capable of, and then make sure that I got them in first. I wanted the first person's work that they saw to be mine. And I've talked about this before, but the big X factor trying out for that job was that they were going to try digital inks, and it was terrifying because it was sort of a new technology at the time, and all it really meant was trying to make the pencils look like inks. Since Travis penciled quite tight, the theory was, well, maybe somehow in the computer we can level it, and we don't even really need to use an inker. So that was the most scary thing. And like Jay Lee has done that on books. His wife is his colorist, and she'll spend a lot of time in Photoshop, and partially it's different settings that she uses, but she has a process that actually can kind of make Jay's work look inked in the books when it's not. And anyway, I even on one of my test pages wrote like man versus computer, but it didn't look good. It really wasn't. It didn't have a seamless quality that actual inks did. So let's see. Do you scan your work at home or FedEx? Also, I scan my work here. I have a really nice scanner here. I have it's a Microtech. I think it's Microtek. And I've had it for about 5 years now. It's about a $1,200 to $1,500 scanner. I think it's called ScanMaker 8700 XL. Alex Sinclair had suggested it to me when Wildstorm was closing. I knew that was one thing that I was gonna 100% need, because I scan. I probably, if I'm working consistently, I do probably 200 to 300 pages a year. So yeah, I needed a good scanner, and man, I'm really fortunate that it still works. It is 11 by 17. Yes. Yeah. I love seeing your Instagram and YouTube channels grow. Thank you for being available for questions. Yeah, no problem, Justin. I appreciate it. And again, if you guys have one more question, I can do one more round of questions. Whatever it is, it's fine. Hit me. It's all fair game. Hold on, I got an email. Let's see what it is. ArtStation. I follow artists on ArtStation. I get my daily updates. It's fun. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I'm excited. That album cover request this morning was a nice surprise. I had worked for a couple of record labels, and I'd shot them an email maybe about a month ago and said, hey, I don't have any work right now. If you guys need any album covers or any art for bands, let me know. I'd love to do something. And then yeah, this morning I got an offer to do. I think it's going to be like an LP cover. So those are fun. It'll be probably a black drawing if I'm gonna guess. So I'll have to get out the skulls and all that stuff for it. But all right, let's see. Okay, I guess there's no more questions. So everyone, have a great day. Thank you so much for coming by. Smash the like on your way out, and stay tuned for. I'll probably try to do a storyteller spotlight tomorrow, and then Super Fun Sunday. And hopefully people enjoyed that Extreme Super Fun Sunday. It was sort of neat. I enjoyed watching it back and checking out all that crazy extreme art. Did you read Magic the Order? I have read like the first 3 issues. I haven't finished it, but I did. It's light Coipel. It doesn't look like he's putting a ton of effort into it. I hate to say that because I love his art, but they're real simple pages. Like they're still quite nice, but I feel like he's he's at like 60% on that stuff. I don't know why. Maybe they were rushed or something like that. But it got him a Netflix show. I'm curious to see it. But I do like it quite a bit. All right, I'll talk to you all later. Bye. Have a good one.